Never call and ask if someone can stay at Airbnb at last minute. Always book online. Hi everybody, it's Mena. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is the very first video that you're seeing of me, then welcome to my channel. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you didn't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes. And today in this video, I'm going to do a story time about how my friend tried to book my Airbnb at the last minute over the phone for her friend. So this is a story about how my friend's friend needed a place to stay at the last minute, but sadly I couldn't let her stay in my Airbnb because she needed it that night her friend was in town. So this is a story just to let you guys know, with Airbnb, you always book online. You never call or ask if people can stay on such short notice, because Airbnb is like a business. Is you have to follow the business rules of an Airbnb. Like, you have to book online. You can't just call and ask at such short notice. Oh, and there's Bean in the door. Hi, Bean. Anyway, so just keep that in mind. If you need a last minute booking of an Airbnb, I probably wouldn't go for it, because Airbnb is a business and you have to respect the business rules of an Airbnb. So I'm going to get started, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. By the way, if you have not seen any of my Airbnb tours, I will link the videos down in the description box below. So this all started, I think, maybe in September. So this was maybe a couple months ago, like 3 or 4 months ago, or was it 5 months ago? I can't remember. And one night I get a phone call from my friend. I can't answer the phone because I'm actually kind of busy cleaning. I think I was cleaning dishes, or I was making dinner for my mom. I don't remember what I was doing, but I know I was busy doing something, and I couldn't get to my phone. So I get a text message from my friend because she wanted to text me, because I guess it was very important. So she was like, hey, I need a favor. Can my friend stay in your Airbnb? And I was like, oh, we might have another booking. So I call my friend and I go, hey, what's up? And she goes, my friend needs a place to stay for the night. She's in town, and I told her you have an Airbnb, and I was wondering if she can stay in it. And I was like, when does she need it? Because I didn't want to say yes yet, because I didn't know when she was going to need the Airbnb. And I already had somebody in my Airbnb, so I didn't know what I was supposed to do. So I decided to ask my friend first of all when she needed the Airbnb, because that's just really important. Because if you run an Airbnb, you have to ask people when they need the Airbnb. Well, people book online, so that's how Airbnb usually works. So, and my friend's like, my friend needs the Airbnb tonight. She's in town for the night, and we can't, and she doesn't want to stay at a hotel, and the hotels around here are super expensive. And I felt really bad for what I had to say, because I couldn't give up my Airbnb to my friend's friend, because I had already had a lady staying in the Airbnb with her children for a few days. And I felt really bad for what I had to say, but luckily I was super honest. So I said, look, I'm really sorry. I understand your friend needs a place to stay, but I already have somebody staying in my Airbnb at the moment right now. So, maybe there might be some cheap motels, or do you have a room in your house, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, okay, I can see if she can stay at my house or something. And I thought that was a really nice thing that my friend did, because I felt kind of bad that I couldn't let her friend stay in my Airbnb, but I already had somebody staying in the Airbnb, and I couldn't make the person leave so my friend's friend could stay in the Airbnb. And my friend was super understanding about it. She's like, okay, my friend can stay at my house then. And I was like, thank you, I'm terribly sorry about that, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, that's okay. And she was really nice. So I told my friend, that is good that you're gonna let your friend stay there, because I couldn't offer her a place to stay, and I first felt bad, but luckily my friend made me feel better. So I hung up the phone, and my mom's like, what happened? Oh, my friend was asking if she could have a place for her friend to stay, and it was kind of last minute, and she wanted to stay at the Airbnb, but I told her we couldn't let her stay at the Airbnb because we had already had somebody who had booked it for a few days, and yada, 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 yada. And I was explaining to her how Airbnb works, that you have to book online, and yada, yada, yada. And she goes, that's really good, Mena, that you're letting your friend know how Airbnb works, blah, 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 blah. And I felt really good, despite the fact at first I did feel kind of bad, but I felt really good sticking with the rules of the Airbnb, because I just did not want to lose business with my Airbnb, and I thought it was like a really good thing that I did that, because I felt really responsible. Well, telling my friend and being honest with her about how we couldn't let her friend stay at the Airbnb at the last minute because we already had somebody staying in the Airbnb. So luckily my friend's friend was able to find a place to stay on such short notice, and I think they had a spare room in my friend's house for her to stay, which I thought was a really good thing, because I wish I could have let her friend stay in my Airbnb, but we just didn't have an extra room for her because we only have one bed in the Airbnb. So the moral of the story is you always book online with Airbnb. You can't just call and ask if people can stay on short notice, especially if someone you know is in town and they need a place to stay for the night and you don't have a place for them to stay. You can always try to find cheap motels and stuff. Just never ask if at last minute if people can stay at an Airbnb. Just because an Airbnb is a business, they want people to come back to the business and yada, yada, yada. And you can't just ask to book when someone's already booked an Airbnb. So you got to keep that in mind. If you ever need to book an Airbnb, you always book online. You never call to book an Airbnb. So always keep that in mind, that when you're looking for an Airbnb to stay, you book online, just never call. So that was a story about how I felt bad at first because I couldn't let my friend stay in my Airbnb at last minute. I hope you guys enjoy my friend's friend stay in my Airbnb at last minute. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please just hit a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye.